Hello, beautiful
Hello.
souls. Welcome to Nuestra Tabla Rasa. Hello, Millie.
Hi.
Hey, Trista. Hey, Lucky. Great to see all of
Hey,
you. Hey, thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Hey, tonight, speaking of tonight, we're going to be talking about the possibility of a big event coming our way. We've discussed it a couple times here and there in passing, and I thought, why don't we dedicate a little bit more time to it and get into a little bit more of the particulars about things on this subject? And I thought, I just happen to know the three people that I would love to have this conversation with. Oh, we even have Nub here pawing at my leg. So, hey, it's perfect. Now we have five. And then all of you out there, thank you so much for coming by tonight. Hey, let's see how our panel is doing. See what kind of week they had. We're going to go ahead and start right here with Trista. How you doing, Trista?
good. It's been a good week. Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to sleep again, so that's always nice, but still getting in the groove. It's a process, I tell you.
Excellent.
But yeah, so that's lovely. And then I have a big week of like being live like every day coming up, so that's fun.
Oh,
But
really?
it'll be fun.
So you're going live every day except for Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's day or night?
So like tonight I counted, and then tomorrow night same time with Linda Jean, or like 22 after, because you know me. And then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday are all at 5 Central, or 5 my time.
So it's going to be
So
7 my time then.
7 Eastern. 7 Eastern.
8. Oh, so I might miss
You're an hour for me.
I'm going to end up missing some of those, I think, just because of my schedule,
Hmm.
maybe. But that's okay. I can go to the beginning and stay as long as I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Lucky, coming your
It
way,
should be fun.
sir.
Hello. I've had a week. I've completed it, and I'm very happy about that. There's a new one coming up. We'll see what happens then. It's my son. My son's birthday was on Tuesday,
Oh,
so rather than I told my job that I had a doctor's appointment during the day, so I couldn't go. That way, I could spend some time with my son because
aw.
they can't ask questions. If you say it's a doctor's appointment, they can't ask any questions. So I got the day off, no problem at all.
I see you even received a sticker for having a week well done right there on your shirt.
There, no, it says
Oh,
shun the non-believers.
no, there's a
No,
sticker
no,
that's on
up
your
here.
shoulder. Is that the other side?
Other side, other side. Is it a T thing?
I
It looks
don't
like
know
a.
what it is.
Oh no, it
I
was a
washed
sticker
the
for sure.
shirt, and I guess that this is a really powerful label.
Awesome.
What
Awesome.
what was it? We have to know.
What, shun the
What did it?
non-believers?
No, what that is excellent, and thank you for owning that. It makes my day because I love Charlie the Unicorn. But what was the sticker?
I think it's a quality control thing. It's a new shirt. I just got it,
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
I
gotcha.
washed all. I got a bunch of them. They were like $5 a piece if you buy like four of them. So I bought a bunch of them, different weird things, and this is one of them. I bought them because of Charlie the Unicorn. I'm like, hey, I know that. That's cool.
I'm gonna need that link, please. Thank you.
It's no, it
Awesome.
was the what? It was a 2 hour thing. They were getting rid of inventory. No longer.
Oh,
It's no longer. It was a quick thing. You get as many as you can for 2 hours. They got cleaned out
oh,
fast.
I bet.
I have a very important question, Lucky. Who was the number? What was the number on the quality control?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, yeah.
XT60430.
34. 600, wait, what?
60430.
6430. Oh, so it's
Yeah, it says
430. Okay.
scan with your app. I'm not gonna scan some random label with my app, even though it was washed.
Okay.
I
Awesome.
don't know
Maybe
why.
get to see a picture of the person who made your shirt. That would be fun.
Fine, I'm curious.
Oh,
Now
that
I'm
would be really
curious.
fun. That'd be really fun.
All
Well,
right.
while Lucky's doing that and getting a virus on his phone, Millie, how was your week, my friend?
Great week. And I started it off today with a nice family dinner.
Ooh,
My mom had turned 80 on the 19th, and we went ahead and all went out to dinner. So I went out to dinner with my siblings and my dad and my niece and one of my daughters, because my other two daughters had gone to the younger one too, to the Irish parade at a neighboring town here, which is a real big event. And they were just too pooped to come. So I gave them the guilt trip for not seeing their grandma, because, not everyone's grandma turns 80, but that's all
No
right.
kidding.
Anyway, so it's all good. So yeah, we had a nice time.
And what are the girls' names that did not go see their grandmother today?
Wow.
I'm joking. Shame. Shame. But, well, that's good to hear. I'm glad all of you had decent weeks. Let's get some mega loud shout outs in real quick before we dive into this topic. It looks like some of them are already discussing it. Let's see. Start up here at the top. Hey, Christine Fire, Mama Fryer, good to see you. Hey, Elizabeth from the More Intuitive Me. Milk for a Snack. Alex, great to see you. Mary Wens. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Scotty Boy. Sup, gang? Good to see you, Scotty. Trina. Hey, is that your sister, right, Trista?
I think so. I don't see her at the moment, but probably.
Okay, we have Lucia here again. Good to see you, Lucia. And let's see. Anyone else here floating around? Anyone lurking? I think I've gotten everyone so far. Granted, I scrolled all the way to the top.
My little brother's here.
Oh, your little brother's here too. Well, hey, little Millie's little brother. Amia, great to see you as well. And Karen Suki made it just in time. That's right. And Sarah from Hibiscus Healing. Sarah. And
That's one of the people I'm on with this week.
well,
Very
that's going to be
excited.
really cool.
Yeah.
I have some bad news. You can't scan the code, the label, because I think from being washed, it kind of
Oh,
the label cannot be read by my wonderful phone.
Well, darn.
maybe you should contact the company and look further into it.
Yeah, maybe so.
Honestly, why? Unfortunately, my brain
Hey.
works like that, and that's one of the problems I might have. They're going to think about this like, I wonder what this code's going to be.
That may,
Hey,
you may have to. Go ahead, Trista.
Sorry. I'm just curious what Alex meant by this. Just to hear audio is sponsored by Fisher Price. Do I sound terrible? Is that why?
You're getting like a spark every time you speak. It's going tuck, 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 tuck. It's like
Yeah,
a,
any
Oh,
comment on it. I really
that's
was right
annoying.
the whole time. I was trying
You
to be
should-
nice. I
Okay.
really was right.
this is your new microphone, right? Hey, Kim Kitts is here as well. Good to see you, Kim. Oh, you have a Spanish channel. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm not on a mod there. I will get you some subs. So please, let's go sub to.
Not for everybody, but
That's
yeah.
not for everybody.
Well,
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
You
I
explain
mean,
that, Millie.
It's for a select group of people.
yes, it's
Like-
not for the heterosexual community. How's that?
That's perfect. That's good.
There you go.
'cause It's not for me.
Although the
My wife would be
content
very
is
disappointed.
actually really, really good, and I've actually learned so much. It's not even funny. And I'm not talking about techniques, okay? I'm talking to you about the history. So don't look at me like
Thanks.
All right. Okay.
Gone.
oh my god.
And if you guys did not see it tonight, we will be discussing, do you believe a big event is coming? And we've spoken about this stuff.
What about arriving?
Okay, my brain went there and I was like, just shut it, don't say it.
I blame Tristan.
My Halo is not. There we go. All right. Is there a big event arriving? I think it's going to happen. I think something's going to happen. Personally, I'm in the camp that yes, some divergence is going to happen. And that's what I really want to discuss with all of you. And if so, if you do believe or disbelieve, either way, what is your beliefs around this? What do you think is going to happen? What happens to the people that don't make it? Or do everyone make it? Does everyone make it? And I'm not going to put anyone on the spot. So Millie, boom, you're up.
Well, actually, yeah, I do think something's coming, arriving, and when is it going to get here? I don't know. Sometime soon, I hope. Uh, anywho, um, the anticipation is great. Uh, and I
As
think
always.
everyone, will get something out of it. We're all
Oh
safe.
my God.
And it just depends on what level you're at, to which you'll experience different things. In a nutshell.
Good. Good. Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't hear
Lucky.
most of that
I didn't hear
You did
hardly
it?
any of it either. Go ahead. Can you say that over again, please, Millie?
because we were laughing too hard and distracted.
Did the audience here?
I think some of them did. I think some of
I
them
think
did.
I've got the basic idea. It's okay. You don't have to
Something's
repeat
on its
everything.
way.
Sorry.
Yes. I believe that some people will get to this um, new earth. Uh,
So you think it's a
like,
new Earth that's going to appear, or what's the process in that? Can you be more specific? Do you have anything lined up in your head for it? What do you think is
you
going to
know,
happen?
I hate to use words that everyone's using because I think that like just like the Mockingbird media is it plays into a different kind of thing, right? When they repeat all those little cliches all the time. But I think that the people that have been working on certain things for a while are raising the vibration on the planet. And I think that as a result, when the planet's vibration gets to a certain level, they will be experiencing life from a different perspective that allows them to see beyond the constructs of being in a meat suit and living life more from a unity conscious, more of a non physical way of perceiving things. Whereas people that maybe are not quite there yet or are hesitant to have the perspective on life that we have been working on will still continue to live life in the way that we have, yet with different things that are now in place or many different things switching up as we are all seeing as a collective, whether you've worked on things uh, in a spiritual sense, the journey, whatever, so either way, I think that certain things are going to be the same for everyone. And it's how you experience them and what you do with as a result of those things that have changed, that's going to change. So I believe that the people that have not been working on their vibration, on their spiritual healing, whatever, those people are going to be in for a little bit more of a shock because things are going to happen irrespective and it's going to just kind of hit them all at once. Whereas we've gone a little bit at a slower pace. We've had more time to digest it.
So you think those people will still be around? They'll just be
Okay, you know what? So here we are again. So I think that we use the term people loosely because I am of the camp that I do believe that there are people that are soulless here and that are really just empty vessels. And I
also
think that when that
NPCs.
happens, the NPCs, they will be gone
Wow.
because
Okay.
their system that supports them, their programming will no longer be. So they're just going to
Okay.
short circuit and cease to exist.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right, Lucky. Same question. It's quite broad, so wherever you want to start there, Lucky.
I believe Millie's completely wrong. I do the opposite of everything she said. Case closed. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Um, I'm much more on the complicated, similar to Millie. Honestly, I believe that if you notice, they kind of if the fear was a dial, they've turned it up to 11 right now. They've gone far past, and I believe that's a huge sign that the good guys are winning and the bad guys are losing, and they're trying to push the fear because the fear is the only thing that's going to prevent the perfect energies to come in. And will everyone have an opportunity? Absolutely. Will everyone walk in and use the opportunity? Definitely not. But the tools will be there for everyone to pick up and go, yes, I want to be that way. But there's going to be a lot of people, I'm going to say a lot of us, because let's just say that they're going to follow the idea that they are addicted to the fear and they're going to
Mm.
fall in a different path. And although we're going to exist in the same realm, we're going to see things in two and diametrically opposed ways, where people will say everything's falling apart, and we're going, no, what's falling apart was supposed to fall apart. We're building up. We're going to build something much better, and I think that's what's happening. Is right now, things are getting shaken up, and because things are shaken up, making it scary. When it's not scary, it's just when you have an old house, you might like that old house, but sometimes you got to tear it down because it's just too rotted. And right now, the reality we have is just rotted, but we have so many great tools. We have better. I mean, what is it? Someone was telling me that I was noticing that. Case in point, there is a car wash being built near my house. There are a lot of car washes in my area. I don't know why there's another one, but not the point. The point is they're putting a pressure treated lumber around it, and I'm saying, why are they using lumber to build a car wash? And someone else was saying, why don't they use fiber made with hemp? Because that is actually more fire retardant. It doesn't absorb water. It's better. Well, both, although the hemp is more expensive, it's going to last a lot longer. And that's what the reality we have is that we're going for the fear, the quick uptake, the quick answers. When people like us, we're here for the long haul anyways. And we already see the light at the end of the tunnel. It might be farther down the tunnel, but we're walking towards it. Rather than just saying, it's dark, we're scared. And they focus so much on the fear, they stay where they are. While people like us will see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to keep walking towards it no matter what these, we're going to say, sorry, and they go, we can't move. At which point, there's a point we can't stay back. Say, we just leave them as they are, let them be in their fear, and we're going to walk with the ones who will walk with us. If they don't want to walk with us, it's their choice. We have other tools
Okay.
to walk down the end of the tunnel.
Excellent.
I talked around in circles. I went around in circles, but I think I got my point across.
Yeah, I think you did. No, you didn't go around in circles, dude. You did perfect. All right, Trista.
So, I mean, I don't know for sure, of course. I mean, who knows for sure? But I think that one strong possibility is it's not going to be necessarily like a big event, but I think it's happening slowly. And even to the point of how there's so many of us that are, really working spiritually, or even if we're not working spiritually, I think a lot of people are being forced to face things in a spiritual way and really raise our vibration. So if our frequency is changing as an individual and creating that divide between those who aren't, then there's already that 3D, 5D split starting to happen, right? Like think of all the people that we're falling out with that you just don't match anymore. And I don't necessarily I don't know if I believe that, people are going to disappear from the earth. I think it's just going to be a divide, at least a divide between the different ways of thinking and the different ways of approaching life. So, and then if you think of like the 144, like, is that how many people or is that a frequency? And I could see it being a frequency. And it's funny because I was thinking, like, well, why 144? Like, there's a lot of great frequencies out there, but what's special about that one? And that's the one that I use when I'm trying to ground the energy and lift it up at the same time. And it's kind of like it's I don't think that's where we'll stop because to me that frequency is more of a stepping stone because I'll always use that one to kind of ground and get it moving upward, and then I'll switch to something else to kind of get like a 528 to get it like really vibrating in a really healthy manner, in an ongoing healing kind of manner. So maybe that there's something to that. And I mean, I don't know if how I use it is how it's used everywhere, but I was just trying to justify that in some way. So
Hmm.
perhaps, but yeah, I don't know if I think it's going to be something big all at once.
So you could say that you're okay. So you're kind of going with the flow then,
Yes,
in
yeah.
a sense. In a sense, yeah. I kind of ride that way too, but I find it fascinating. It's a wonderful mental exercise to answer my the same question to answer it. I think I think it's going to be. I tend to stay more in the divergence of frequency. I think it's going to be a frequency divergence because you touched on it, but all of you have touched on it that we're moving in a specific direction, raising our vibrational frequency. And then when people choose not to, or they're just slower at raising theirs, I think I've noticed it in my own life that I'm diverging from people. And some of these people I'd love the crap out of, I love the heck out of them, but just, it doesn't mean I love them any less. But it's one of those things that now it's like loving people from afar. Have you noticed you're beginning to love more people from afar? Have you guys noticed that? All of you? I see two
Hmm.
heads. Yeah, see, and
Yeah,
that's part of it,
there's no choice.
right?
They're falling away. And again, we're not choosing it, and they're not choosing it. It just happens. So maybe the white and 44 is going to be just the divergence. It's going to cause a divergence where it's going to either be a stepping stone to move up or an obstacle where they don't want to go any further. And this it's just choice. It's all about choice. We have a choice. It's not you're not and you are. It's like which way do you want to go? We choose go up. They choose stay back. That's fine.
And what's interesting, something else I find interesting about this too, is I've joked about on my show that hey, whenever I go, I want to go, and I haven't chosen the sound yet, but I want to go, some kind of cool sound and blink out of existence. I think it would be really fun to go that way. If you're going to go, hey, go some way fun like that. But all that aside, I'm kind of joking about that, by the way, but it would be fun. But if this divergence happens, I think it's coming on slow, Trista, but I think it's going to be more, it's going to be almost like we wake up one morning and things are way different.
Which is just like everything that's happening now. Like every day is flying by and weeks are flying by. So it's picking up as it is. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
But
and I
it just
think
gets faster and faster and faster.
it's going to be, and I haven't reconciled this yet. Are we going to remember these people? So if we wake up and these people that are not in our frequency, are we going to know who they are? And have we already lost people? I don't mean people that we know. I'm talking about have we already lost people due to our frequency change? So think about people that are not in the mid frequency range. They're not even in the high frequency range. Think about people out there. We all know people that are operating in that middle frequency somewhere. We have people in our lives, people we know. And okay, so look at it this way. Think about all the stuff that's going on around the world concerning all the child trafficking, people trafficking, all that human trafficking stuff. Now, are those people still around or are they gone? Well, instead of jumping into that rabbitest of holes right there, what I'm talking about though is all the players in that, have we already diverged from their frequencies so far that we don't even know, we don't remember the original crew? Does that make sense? So it's like if you have, let's just say you have John Doe. We all know John Doe, and John Doe is now gone, but none of us remember John Doe because he's no
Like
longer in
a
our frequency.
Mandela effect, but the
Yeah,
reverse.
right. Yeah. So is it going to be something like that where we completely forget about people's, because think about it in that sense, you're moving into a higher frequency, and what is the first thing you're going to do is mourn the people that you lost? Or is it just a maturity that you receive at that higher frequency of understanding? Your understanding increases, which says, oh, okay, well, they're on their journey, and you respect it fully instead of even missing them a little bit. Hey, yeah, you might miss them, but you completely get it because it makes death and losing people so much easier whenever you're thinking about it in a higher perspective. Or, oh, we've had this discussion. Oh, that person signed up to have that experience. Well, that's a horrific experience. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But they still signed up to have that experience, just like we've signed up to come bring in this ascension. You see?
Okay, I got something on that.
Go ahead.
I don't wanna kill the role though, but I
No,
just.
you're right.
All right, so you know how we've been doing all this heart healing in the last year or two?
Hmm.
I think that that heart healing has enabled us to have a greater sense of compassion, and it's that compassion that allows us to have that detachment also, even though it's kind of contradictory, because you recognize the fact that they signed up for that journey. You recognize the fact that you've fallen out of alignment, but you still have love for them. You just need to continue doing you, and they do them. So it's not a hate, or it's not an any.
Right.
It's a compassion that you have for them.
It's just different. And see, that's where you come into truth too. I talk about it all the time. You come into truth. And when you start seeing the truth, you just accept it. Hey, that is the truth. It's a knowing. I know the truth now. It doesn't matter what the truth is because you know it. That's what's kind of hard to get your brain around because it doesn't matter whether it's deemed positive or deemed negative. It is the truth. The truth is right now we're all sitting here having a great discussion on a fun topic. That's the truth. See how that's formed up there? People in
Hmm.
chat are sitting here making comments about our comments and to each other, and this is the truth right at this moment.
Right. And here
But
we are having this conversation without getting angry or without any kind of emotion, just a discussion amongst us. And it doesn't mean that we feel any differently toward each other if we don't have the same view.
mhm.
But this is where all those lessons of that journey have come into play now to make us more tempered and to just be able to have these conversations and be like, yeah, okay.
And to add to that, to add to Lucky's point, is think about and see. I know fewer and fewer people because I spend most of my time with a lot of people here. My circle's gotten very small as of late, and over the last couple of years. And you think about the pool of people out there that are still doing that thing they've been doing for the last decades upon decades. March is a perfect example, and I am sensitive to people that watch March Madness. I used to be stupid about it. I had 16 brackets going, money on every one of them, whole 9 yards, and now I haven't watched it in years because I see that it's not a valuable use of my time. That's just my personal experience. I'm not dogging any sports out there. If you guys still watch them, but to me, watching sports has decreased in value as I've grown spiritually.
That is weird because March Madness used to be something that it was there. It was always. I forgot about it because I haven't seen nothing about it at all. Why is that? Because I guess my energy is just not aligned for it completely. I am stunned by this because I remember past years where it's just one of those things in the background. It's like filler. It's like background noise. Now I know nothing about it. You brought it up and I'm like, that's right. This is March in March Madness, and I have no clue who's in what. Even I've never even seen a bracket. That's
I'm not,
weird.
I don't think I even really fully know what it is. I know the term, but
Oh,
I
it's
assume it's a
bullfighting.
sports thing, and
When
that's,
people fight bulls and they get really because bulls are mad and people are mad. It's mad March Madness.
Don't
It's
listen to him.
basketball.
yeah, I kind
It's
of,
college.
this
It's
has
collegiate. It's
yeah.
college basketball, and it's a big deal. Well, I'm not going to sit and hype it up, but it used to be. I used to live my life around it during March. I would schedule everything around it, everything around, so I could watch these games of teams I cared nothing about, but I had money on them, and it was fun because we would get together, and all of us in our programming sit there and enjoy this bread and circuses because that's what it is, in a sense.
Well, the thing
So
about March Madness is it was more fun because it was unpredictable. So that
right.
way everyone could play, and that was the thing. Every company that ever been would had the March Madness brackets. It was just one of those things. It was in the lunchroom. We'd all, and then we laugh about it because sometimes it was totally unpredictable. Usually it was the woman who had no idea what she was doing. She didn't usually be the one to win her because she didn't care. She just picked on the names. Millie would be the perfect example of something like that.
I actually
But
like basketball, but yeah.
Well,
I
I
have
like it.
seen
I like it. Just
But that was a fun thing about it. It was unpredictable, and you didn't need to be a sports expert, and everyone could have fun with it. It was kind of like the Super Bowl when you had those brackets for all the scores and stuff like that, where everyone could play because it's kind of unpredictable. But this year, like you said, there, I, it's totally out of my eyesight. It's been out of my mind. I've seen nothing about it. It's crazy. It's like a whole different timeline. Then I'm in a different timeline for it. That's weird.
yeah,
I'm a little bit stunned by this because it blew my mind. Like, wait, I've heard nothing about this.
yeah, I get that. I completely get it, Lucky, because I used to be so ate up with it, to coin a term. I was so wrapped up in it that college football, just mainly college sports in general. I'd watch it, spend my time taking in that programming, and so let's talk about something. Let's talk about the poll real quick. I put a poll up. Do you think the 144 represents a frequency or people? We have 15 votes in. Get some votes in if you haven't voted yet. And right now we're at 87% say frequency, and 13% say it's 144,000 people. Now we could probably do another poll. Is in religious circles, at least in Christian circles around here, I think there's one church that is very specific about. They're all over it. I think it's Jehovah's Witnesses are all about the
I think so.
144 and being 144,000, and they kind of get snarky with each other. Oh, you're not one of the 144. Oh, you are? Yes, I am. That sort of thing within their churches, and I think they like keep track of who's on the 144 list, like that
And
nerdy
where did
about
they
it.
get that list from? Like, does God just come down and write it down every night or something?
I guess. I don't know. I think it's by your acts towards the congregation or towards the church or how faithful you are and how many
Well,
meetings.
right. But I mean, theoretically, it's worldwide. So there would even be other of their churches around that they would have to be, mindful of. So that's kind of, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical
Well,
for some reason.
I think the coolest thing about 144 though is that it makes a 9. So that's the
Hmm.
cool part of it.
It's noticeable too.
I would have to say I tend to agree with frequency because I'm more geared towards vibrational frequency than I would say, acts like, well, meaningless acts in a sense. What's important to those people, so I will honor that. It's important to them, and so I'll honor that aspect of it. But I don't think, I don't think that it's a number because who's going
Well,
to determine it? For to your point,
and even when I was Catholic and, believed in the Bible, most of it I believed was symbolism. So even back then, I would have looked at this and gone, "Well, that's a symbol for something else." Well, I did because that's like the one part of the Bible that I actually read was Revelation because I thought it was kind of cool.
There's a third option that I'm just. Do you know how the 12 apostles? Some believe that they weren't 12 men; they were 12 tribes from Israel. What
Hmm.
if the 144 was 144 groups? That we're going to be broken into 144 groups of people for some reason. That
or tribes.
right, tribes. And what does that mean? Everyone has a different idea, or maybe there'd be 144 different versions of what perfection is, or what heaven is, or what the perfect earth would be for each of those groups. It's a lot of choices.
I mean, it could also be astrological because there's 12 there too. And then 12 times 12 is 144, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, now there's 13 astrological signs, isn't there? Doesn't that mess
Wow.
everything up? That messes all your whole
I don't,
ideas up.
yeah,
Don't you
but
feel
I don't,
silly? Gotcha.
no, I don't, because I don't agree, because it's just off just enough that I don't know if I want to add it in there.
And what I find interesting too is at least two of the major religions, Christianity and Islam, share
Is that an
God, it was the
airplane?
weirdest noise. Just the weirdest noise just passed by my house. Um, is because we know that the Christianity, because we live in a Christian, well, we all live in Christian countries, that we have the rapture, and I grew up with the rapture.
Hmm.
Growing up in the belt buckle of the Bible Belt, I grew up with the rapture because it's going to happen like every 2 years. Oh my God, yeah, you can't play Dungeons and Dragons. It's of the devil, and that's of the devil, and so on and so forth. And and so I grew up with it. Then finally, I just was like, because go look up if you get curious. Go look up at how many times has the rapture been predicted, and it's a lot.
Is it 144?
No, it's not
1,000.
that high. It's not that high. But like you have to narrow it down to like the United States. But I did that study, I think a year ago or sometime like that, and it was about 27 or 28 times in my lifetime. So,
Wow.
and Islam does have kind of a thing about a cool breeze. Let's see, there's a hadith describing a pleasant, cool wind that will blow near the very end of time, causing all remaining believing Muslims to die peacefully and gently, their souls taken by God in a merciful way. This leaves only unbelievers, kafirs, alive on earth to face the final horrors in the day of judgment. So this is occasionally called an Islamic rapture in some discussions, but differs significantly. It's a merciful mass death, not a living translation to heaven. It happens very late in the sequence, after major events like the return of Jesus or Isa, and it does not spare believers from tribulation in the same pre-trib way. Okay, so theirs is very similar, but see, in Christianity, they say it's going to be like fire and brimstone, all this stuff happen, and then I think the latest prediction I heard a couple of days ago is that it's going to be a reverse. So it's changed from being a rapture to a reverse rapture now. And I think they were more or less saying that everybody's going to go through everything. Everyone's going to go through all the hardship, but then the believers will come out of it unscathed or something. Yes, ma'am? Millie?
Okay.
Where's your sign?
They're here. But I can talk today. Because you know why? Because I just went through a death and rebirth. And I think that what they're talking about is that death that we experience, that spiritual death of ego and all of that stuff. And then we're reborn. And then we come in to find a Christ consciousness. And that's the coming of Christ. So
That
if you
is
look at
really
it,
good.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
we just went through all these trials and tribulation. And I'm not saying that I'm done, right? Because it's like a
Sure.
lifelong thing. But
Yeah.
I think that to me makes more sense. And only the ones that really want to do it and that are into it are going to do it. And they're going to die a peaceful death. It's really not so peaceful, right? Because it's kind of hard. And then you rise up again.
Let's see. Go ahead, Trista.
I was just going to say I liked that you said into it because it could have been if they're into it or if they're into it, like
There you
intuition.
go. Yeah.
I also want to throw in that I find it fascinating because the way I was raised, there was like nothing about the rapture. That was like what the kind of more fundamentalist Christians believed, but in my family and circle of Catholics, it just wasn't a thing.
Oh my God. I was Catholic and I was obsessed with the book of Revelation.
I love
Like,
the Book of Revelation, but I thought it was all symbolism. Even as a kid, I thought it was all symbolism.
oh yeah, I felt it was
Yeah.
symbolism, but I didn't understand that meaning that I understand today. And you know what? 10 years from now, I may have a
Oh, for
completely,
sure.
but right now, that's really what I feel it is.
Yeah, no, I was just meaning like compared to Victor saying when he was growing up, like there was a lot about that, and it wasn't like it was like that's a thing that some people believe, but not anyone that I knew.
Oh, for
I find
me,
that really
yeah, a lot.
interesting. I just assumed it wasn't a Catholic belief, you know?
Well, the Catholics around here always wanted to get you with that guilt and shame because that keeps you
Well,
on that low.
guilt and shame, of course. That goes without saying. I had a lot of that, don't worry. But just the
Uh,
belief in an actual physical rapture happening.
Yeah, it was pretty strong where I grew up because if you answered your door on a Sunday where I lived, I went to the Baptist church a couple times in my pajamas because I made the mistake of opening the front door. I was like, "Come on,
oh,
we're going to church. Come on, let's go to church right now." And they're literally like grabbing you and stuff like
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Yeah, so I went and
wow.
sat in there and saw kids I knew from my grade school, and I'm sitting there, my hair's all still got bird nest in it, and I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts, no shoes or something, and I'm in there getting what I need for the day, completely embarrassed. So yeah, the Yoga Sutras is my Bible. Nice,
See?
great. Great shot right there too, Trista. Who is that?
Yes. This is Tulsi.
Tulsi. Okay, Tulsi.
Yeah.
Psst, 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 psst. Great. I was going to elaborate a
Promise.
little bit more, and I gave you the floor, and I completely forgot what I was talking about, but it was somewhere
Sorry.
around. Well, let's go back to that NPC thing too, because I'm sure a couple of us have discussed that the easy route I think is to stay with are these people the smart people that walk around still with their blinders on, their horse blinders, and no, I don't see that, or I don't I don't see anything happening, nothing's happening, my world is staying exactly the same, and they're cognizant enough to ignore everything that all of us are very aware of that's going on around us, because look at the energy this week all over the freaking place, and we wake up and it was like, oh my god, what happened last night? We have these moments and the energy feels this way today. So are those people that walk around with the blinders, are they, in a sense, they're not getting the gift that we're working for? They're not getting the gift, but in a sense, they're taking the easy way. The easy way is to keep your blinders on, and maybe they get recycled or whatever happens. I don't know. Go ahead, Tristan.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if it's an easy way. It's different. I don't think it's easy because I think that you have to really, I mean, assuming that they are, that they are souls and they're not just NPCs, then they chose to come here to hold space for the rest of us who are lifting the planet. And then they would have taken on a much denser, heavier lifetime. And if they're not spiritual, they don't have the spiritual things to fall back on to like make it better.
What is better though?
Well, like relief, like when I need solace, I can look to my spirituality to bring me relief and contentedness and that peace over whatever is bothering me.
Can they
So
not look to their faith?
Well, sure, assuming they have one, because I'm kind of going by maybe they don't, or they have one that is there more in a controlling manner, right? Because there's a lot of faith that isn't really faith. It's dogma. So they can look to their dogma, perhaps. And if they have faith in that, that's great. And maybe it does bring them peace.
And Kim Kitts brings up a good point too. That the Bible is just selected history writing, selected by men in a room with an agenda of control. And preparing for this show tonight, I watched some stuff on Ethiopia, of all places. And there are something like the original 88 books of the Bible, and apparently in Ethiopia, there's 88 books that were not adopted by the Western Church that purports that they are the authority on these books, on this faith, and they didn't even take all of this stuff because many of those things are Jesus, are apparently acts of Jesus doing things and saying things that were not in the Western Bible, but they're in the original script in Ethiopia. And then it makes you think, well, why? And in this documentary that I was watching about it said because it talks about empowering people. And there's a little bit of that in the Bible, I think, because, like whenever I think Jesus said that when 3 or more of you come in my name, or I don't know if that's Old Testament where God is saying that, but when 3 or more of you come in my name, then I will be present. Or is it 2? Something like that. But apparently,
But it's all still through God or through Jesus. You're still not empowered in that, I don't
right.
think.
Right, but the thing is, I think that was taken out of the Western
Oh,
Bible
for sure.
was Jesus talking about his acts and saying, you can do this too, you can
Yeah.
do this too, you can do this too.
That's the big problem with the Bible is Jesus saying what Jesus said in the Bible contradicts all the dogma. But for some reason, people like the dogma. And that's okay. I like dogs too. So dogma, like dogs, it's cool. Let people be as they want.
Well,
Conversation with
Go ahead.
Conversation with God talks about the whole idea that Jesus presented it originally, or presented it as you can do this too. We're both the same and you can do this too. And then if you don't think that you can do it, then believe that I can do it. And, kind of in a, like, I can't remember exactly how he phrased it to bring it back around, but it made a lot of sense. And for sure, they just didn't let us have that little tidbit.
I mentioned something because, as many of you know, my son's a teenager, and over the weekend last weekend we were talking about. I said something about aliens, and he was like, "Oh, aliens!" I was like, "Yeah, aliens," and he goes, "I don't believe they exist." And I was like, "Well, you believe God exists, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, have you ever seen him?" And then he's like, "Oh shit." He didn't say, "Oh shit," but he was like, "Excuse me, YouTube," but he was like, "Oh," and then boom. You follow me? And then he had that, and then we came into the house or something. Like we were busy traveling, we were moving, so then we kind of just changed topics to something else. But it's that thing, you get people. My son is very intelligent, and he, is that the spark? I don't know. Is that the spark that's going to get him thinking in a much broader way? And I think it's all about perspective in a lot of ways, of having these conversations, because this conversation's helping all of us in a sense, because it's broadening our perspective on things. And I think the more perspective you have on any subject is going to help you in your growth. I know I'm not a big thing on being well-rounded. I think that's kind of something that was sold to us to make us watch the news. Oh, you got to know current events, different manipulations. But I thought it was very interesting that it's like, this stuff is being trickled out to us now, and in a sense, you're starting to see it. You're starting to see it. You're starting to see it. More of this stuff coming out, not only from the United States government, but the Canadian government and the Mexican government. All this stuff is coming out and being presented to us, and now you're like, I don't think I'm buying that, or I don't think I'm buying this, or I don't think I'm, you're just starting to see through it. And I think more and more people, I don't think it's just our community. I think more people, even normies, people that are not exactly on the path, are still seeing things, seeing the truth in things, seeing through a lot of the garbage. I think a lot more people are going to go or transition with us than we might realize. Mm-hmm. I hope they do. Well, I hope everybody follows their path. I'll say it that way. Just honor their individual paths.
I agree. And the reason I agree is because just the same way that we say that there's layers to what we're doing, I believe that there's layers to disclosure, and that we're getting disclosure right now on many different layers of programs that have been running for a long time. So we're getting it with the celebrities, we're getting it with the politics, we're getting it with the medicine, we're getting it with the environment as far as the weather manipulation and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting, and that's not even talking about like, the things that are being sprayed in the air. So I think that because all those layers are happening concurrently, I think that it is going to happen, like you said, that one day we're going to wake up and it's just going to be different, because there's something that appeals to everyone, even if they are not necessarily into all of it. There's something that somehow affects someone's life, because there's so many layers of what is being disclosed. It's not just one thing.
And something that got me on this too is one of the main powers they have over us outside of stupid taxation and the time change is that, sorry, I had to throw that in there, is that the money, our money, because we're all, what's one thing we probably all think about every day? There's something I need or something I want, something I desire, but do I have enough money in my check, whatever. And Elon Musk posted something interesting about AI and robots the other day. So sit with me. Hold on. Before you get too AI'd up, is that he was talking about that soon AI robots will be able to build their own robots. And everybody's like, oh, wait a second. But you think about it, and he said, hold on a second, just like I did, is think about that when machines can give us everything we want What's that going to do? It's going to make everyone flush with plenty of money. There will be no need. And we've also discussed in the past too that, hey, if there's technology out there that's being kept from us and it operates off a vibrational frequency, that could be something else we're stepping into too. But things from med beds, that's the most popular things. Things from material, what are things from Star Trek? Food synthesizers, or things that will build, there's a name for it, replicators, something like that. Think about any technology like that. And some people will say, oh, well, med beds only operate off of vibrational frequency. And if you're not within a specific frequency or want to destroy the bed, then you won't even be able to get close to it. Something will happen to you. The bed will shut you down or use its defensive measure. So it's multiple things out there. Elon Musk was saying, though, that basically we're going to have so much technology operating for us, working for us, that we won't have any lack in any regard financially. Things will be so cheap that we will never consider money again because everything is so readily available to be produced by some robot or something. And I don't necessarily look at that as something scary, because I look at it as something freeing us. Because what are you going to do? All right, so let's step forward. Let's step forward 6 months. Everything happens. We're still doing our show. Okay, we're still doing NTR 6 months from now. And some big shift that we've all recognized has happened. And now you are free from going to work every day. So lucky you tell me, you no longer have to work. And you may have to think about this for a moment if you never have, and you guys in chat too, is what would you do? What would you do different in your life in 6 months from now if you no longer had to ever worry about money again or working?
The problem is the caveats. How much gas will I be allowed to have, or do I have to stay in the same place? Is gas going to be unending?
Hey, no caveats. Maybe you don't
No
need
caveats.
gas any longer. Maybe you can teleport.
Put on your rose-colored glasses, Lucky.
If I could go, well, see, that's the thing. I would be hiking everywhere. I would just basically grab my one-person tent and tell my wife, you know what, you and the son are all set for now. I'm going. I'm gonna go. Hell, I'd probably just pack it in my car and tell my wife and my son, have fun because you're all set. And I would go see the country in my
Nice.
tent. I would
Nice.
one of my things that I really envy, and I'll say that flat out, that's the right word, is the people in the YouTube channels who have those little like camper, and they just travel the country, do a few videos, make a few bucks, they're all set. Well, money's no object. If I can go anywhere, I would camp all over the place and do little videos and tell people, let people experience stuff that they would maybe not think about. Because not everyone wants to go camp. I've had friends who love my camping stories, but they would never want to do it. And that's the thing about YouTube channels, is you can watch videos of people doing things that you find interesting, but you would never really want to do it because staying outside and the bugs and the scary monsters like bears or raccoons or
Bigfoot.
something like that. Bigfoot's a derogatory term named Sasquatch. His feet are perfectly
Oh.
proportional.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All right,
My
Millie,
favorite,
same
my
question.
favorite joke. I don't know. It's not
Same,
funny. I love
same
it.
question, Millie.
Pretty much the same, right? Because I would just pursue what lights me up, what makes me happy, and I would more than likely be traveling and learning and just really enjoying life like a vagabond. Just wanderlust. That kind of, let's go here. Oh, come on, let's take a trip here. Oh, you don't want to come? Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go through this for now. I'll see you soon. And yeah, absolutely.
Just the same question.
So, I mean, I'm not working, so I guess this is what I'd be doing, except that I would be ordering more things from Amazon, perhaps. um, and traveling, like I would travel with a purpose because I'm not big on traveling, but I suppose there's some places that I would like to see and like people I would like to meet and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm enjoying I'm enjoying my time not working, so it'd kind of be like this, and that would be okay. It would just be a little fancier.
I think I would probably pretty much stay about the same. Let's keep doing Truthwave, of course. and just travel and do it. But I think what we would see as a global population, that information would probably be the primary currency, because what are people going to do when all their needs are taken care of? They're going to be the thing that we do so very well, and that's be creative. You're going to have all kinds of explosion in creativity because people are going to be released from so many of these burdens that Millie just listed. So many of these burdens are going to be gone, poof, gone. And what's that going to do? You're going to get up in the morning. Hey, I think I'm going to change the interior of my house because all I have to do is tap a couple buttons. All your furniture swaps out and this new stuff beams in, since we're talking this way. But I think it's going to be creative. And it's going to be more like barter creative. And I could call all of you guys before the show and say, hey, and send some little piece of technology to you and say, check this out. Hey, let's wear these tonight. And I send you this garment. And then you guys all zap them and put them in your little machine. And then we're all wearing the same shirts or something. Stuff like that. That's the way I see it. I'll probably do some travel too, but.
And we could have a set somewhere. And we could all just get together for real and just teleport to our set. And that's in Stonehenge one week, and another week we're hanging out, I don't know, anywhere. Sedona, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere we want to. And every week we could go somewhere else and we would just sit and have a chat.
And you know what? Everybody could beam in too. Everybody in chat could beam in too and hang out with us for an hour.
Yes.
Yeah,
and some can come
fun.
in their pajamas if they're watching for bed. And
I was just gonna say the no pants thing, that might be a problem.
But it wouldn't offend us. If the truth is out there and we all know our truth.
Yeah, there you go.
We all may be wearing togas because we don't care.
We may all be wearing no pants.
Nothing.
We might just be wearing eye patches.
Adam and Eve. Yeah. Running around the buff.
Both of them. So we don't see anything anyway.
No, just one. Just one.
Okay, I wanted to point out, because, with this whole conversation, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, I did at one time. Refresh me.
Yeah, so, and it talks about, like, when we take care of our lower needs, then we have time for our our bigger needs. So, like, when our physiological needs, so breathing, food, sex, sleep, homeostasis, and excretion, going to the bathroom, then to safety and security, which is security of body, employment, resources, morality, family, health, property. Above that is love and belonging, so friendship, family, sexual intimacy, and sense of connection. And then above that is self-esteem, which is also confidence, achievement, respect of others, and respect by others. And then at the top is self-actualization. So that's where it's morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, and acceptance of facts.
Oh,
So yeah.
And Linda Jean points out something too. People define themselves by their career, but not know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because there are a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, the first thing they do when you meet somebody, what do you do? Hey, I'm a retired astronaut. What do you do? Because if they're going to be that nosy, make it good.
And I think that's part of the fear behind AI too, right? Everyone's like, they're after our jobs. Well, then evolve beyond your job.
I think with that, that's going to be a bit easier transition to. I think it's going to be an easier transition than a hard one. But those are I look through rose-colored glasses, and that's just the way I operate. And I think it's going to be a lot easier transition than, fire and brimstone and all this other stuff. And is Project Bluebeam are we all going to walk outside and see some whatever popular messiah is in the region that we're in, and they're going to be this humongous thing? I don't know. But I think even if that gigantic messiah shows up, I think it's going to be, people will know. People will see through it. At least I think maybe 68%.
Well, if it's holographic, for sure they'll see through it.
Nice. All right. Any parting thoughts, my friends? We are
Was it
Our
that time already? Oh my goodness.
It is.
After the hour and 44-minute episode, they're all just so short.
That's true. Look at Kim Kitts. Let AI have my job, please. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, look, that's a good point too. Laura says, yeah, a lot of people retire and their identity is gone, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something.
Oh, they die. A lot of people have to retire. They pass
Mm-hmm.
away because they get bored. Which I can't understand because there's so much. It's so much opportunity.
Yeah, I
to
know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
That's them. That's their choice. That's their lot, and that's okay. And that's their choice. I'm not going to judge someone for being bored, which is sad, but that's okay. It's hard not to judge everyone, so I'm not going to.
So I took existentialism in college, and it had to do with all of that, right? And when I left work after my second because I got leukemia, and I lost my identity. Like I still had other roles, right? But that was an identity that I had, used to build my future. And talk about loss of self, and then just sitting there self contemplating the whole world now with me with a different title. So yeah, but that was the start of my like real real spiritual journey. So just putting that out there.
And my father retired from the Air Force. That's why I moved around quite a bit. And I remember when he retired, he had such a hard time returning back to civilian life because he was basically institutionalized in a sense by spending 28 years in the military. And then that's why a lot of military people are primed to go into these defense contractors and stuff like that because it's ran very similarly. And I remember having these discussions with him, and he's just like, yeah, it's just so inefficient. It's just not this way and it's not that way. But he was used he got pretty high ranks, so he was used to things operating around him and people jumping and snapping whenever he said, let's do this, this, and this. And then he gets put, boom, into a corporate environment at Boeing, and then it's completely different. So, yeah, being tied to your work, I think it's great to love your work. I absolutely love mine. But that's by design.
Right.
So if you have a design to do it, my friends. Let's see. All right. Any final parting thoughts on this wonderful subject?
I did think of one more thing that when that happens, I will also hire a maid. That'll be on the list.
That'd be a robot maid.
That's fine.
That'd be better.
It'll judge me less.
No judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, I
God.
mean, I still feel like ChatGPT judges me sometimes. So clearly, it's me. I'm the problem.
And think about that too. Is if you have a robot maid, if they're at that level of technology, think about whenever they come to the level of technology that you have robot partners. Yeah, I
No.
know. Well, what I'm saying
No.
though is it's probably coming.
Oh,
It's probably
definitely coming.
And now we've come full
But you
circle.
won't be.
It's
But you
probably
won't be
coming.
right. All right. I'll get back on that again. Jeez. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Any parting thoughts, or are we going to say adios?
I'm afraid.
I think we covered it all.
I think we have.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Thank you
Absolutely.
all. Thank you all so much for coming tonight, and we will see all of you
Mwah.
next
Bye.
Sunday. Who do we have hosting next Sunday? I believe it is Trista. All right, and she will be talking about.
I
something.
already have my topic picked.
Ooh, would you like to share it?
It must be
Okay.
naughty. It must be naughty. We
No,
should talk about it.
We've been naughty enough for like the entire year tonight, so
it's going to be authority. Do we need, or do we still need, or do we need government and religion?
God, great
I
topic.
think that'll be fun.
Great topic. All right, my friends, until next Sunday. Namaste, my friends.
Have a
Thank you
terrific
all.
week. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you all.